إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور.
Example. You like to go?
No, it's not about to race. No, it's not.
I wasn't going to go anywhere. Just asking.
So guys, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope everyone's doing well. I haven't been behind a camera like this in some time, but I mean said, inshallah ta'ala, I know someone over there is shining, is it? And I know it's definitely not me, it's probably you guys, Allahumma barak, with a nur on their faces and that. And so long story short, if you know me, and apart from me making these Islamic 4 or 5 jokes and so on and so forth, you know that I'm a big advocate for that of ISOC. Now the reason why I say that is that ISOC's not just there for improving your tilawa, which it's there also for. And now you probably see videos that I'm going to put on the screen that wallahi brothers have helped me out in ways that alhamdulillah I've never thought that they would.
إن المتقين في جنات ونهر في مقعد صدق عند مليك مقتدر.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, no joking around, no ghulu, no we'll say they call it mujamala, innit? But love you guys for the sake of Allah. May Allah put you in Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you 4 wives.
4 wives.
Come on. Within that of the Queen Mary ISOC, there's that of the QBS scheme, which is the Queen Mary Quran Body scheme. And so they pair you with someone who you can read to and they'll correct, or you could be the teacher there who teaches someone who doesn't know how to read. Putting that off to the side, one thing you're able to see in terms of that of academics, for that of medicine for example, which is the title of this video, so there's going to be many examples, is that you see that the brotherly love إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions isn't just mere words that the brothers would say, oh I love you for the sake of Allah, but when it comes to the notes, shush, they don't do that. And that's what I'm going to get into in this video. And what sort of note will there be? What sort of notes can I give you? What sort of notes? Well, you have to just find out and wait till you're inside out of the ISOC. And by the way, caveat, I don't represent the ISOC. I'm not a leader. I'm just like a layman, a joke man. And inshallah ta'ala, let's actually get onto the video. So guys, just before we mention some of the stuff that you're going to need and some of the stuff that we're going to go through in this video, I need to make it evidently clear that no one is inherently entitled to any of the stuff that I'm going to mention. So whether it be that of certain notes, certain PowerPoint presentations, certain this, certain that, what websites do you use, access to certain websites that brothers may have put certain files on, none of you guys who are watching this video are inherently entitled to any of that, wallahi. Remember, it's out of the favors that some of the brothers, elder years, lions, I'm like, what, a normal human, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's up to them whether they provide you with certain notes. So I don't want anyone to say, where's the link after? What? Because who says I even have the link, you know what I'm trying to say? So that being said, inshallah ta'ala, it's up to the discretion of the Emir at the time, or that of the brothers that are in charge of that, of the ISOC, who potentially may want to give you certain notes. And there are some people, without that of the help of the ISOC, will give you certain notes. And I'm not saying the ISOC is necessarily a place where notes are shared, but I'm just saying potentially could be the case. And with all caveats aside, inshallah ta'ala, let's actually get onto the video, because this is getting a little bit wishy-washy.
وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها.
Okay, so alhamdulillah, we're onto the notes, so we're onto the drive, and this is essentially what it's going to entail. So I've gone to MBBS, Year 1, PJE, CR, and I know a lot of people, one thing I would say is that as a medic, you are bound by, or you're essentially bound to have integrity, and so it's not good to have questions from previous years. Don't have that, because you could definitely get caught, and it's not even about getting caught, it's about upholding standards to be a doctor. That being said, inshallah ta'ala, as you can see on screen, literally this is how it's roughly going to be. Year 1, you're going to have a couple of lectures. So lecture number 4 is going to be on that of heartbeat and ECG. There's a lot of notes of the nodes that are there. So lead 1, lead 2, AVR, so on and so forth. So these are some notes, but they usually going to be more information in the recent years, and some bits are a little bit unorganized. I would say look at the notes that PJE has made for the lecture, because they're roughly going to be the same title, and there's certain ones that he does miss. So understand them, potentially write over them, and then store them somewhere. So inshallah ta'ala you have the amended recent version, and this will benefit you majorly, inshallah ta'ala, that you should be able to benefit from majorly as well, so on and so forth. So this is just for the lecture notes, anatomy, so on and so forth, which will really help you out, because I was informed by that of the student rep that I am allowed to have notes, just not, of course, questions from the previous years, because that would be unfair. And so that's the reason why I don't encourage you guys to have it as well. And then there's also notes for that of microanatomy that inshallah ta'ala you should be able to benefit from as well. For pictures, for that of your spotter med, and also for that of your midterm exams. But do go through them, take precaution in what they're saying. Sometimes, remember, he's a human, he can make mistakes, but I don't think there are a lot of mistakes as a part of these notes. Inshallah ta'ala, there's also topic by topic breakdowns of the lectures and anatomy and microanatomy that inshallah ta'ala you should be able to benefit from. And there also can be, well, one thing I would say is a society to join up by the name of MESS, which is amazing. So I would say join that as well, and inshallah ta'ala we can jump back to the more comfortable me. As you can tell, I'm probably feeling a little bit cringe, but yeah, inshallah ta'ala, let's go back to the other person. And I think that's about it. That's all I needed to mention. Now guys, I got 3 things that I want to tell you, and I even have them in notes. So another way that you can go through it after that of this segment that I've probably recorded already when I'm sitting on the chair showing you through PJE, is that one other way that you can study is that you can put 6 slides on a piece of paper on your iPad or on that of the online Notability document, once you've converted the PowerPoint into that of a PDF, so that you're able to write the annotations of what the lecturer says when the lecture is open with your lecture notes on the side. And the reason why you do this as well is that, remember, in your test you're not going to be examined, or inshallah ta'ala you won't be examined on the testable knowledge relevant to you, because I know it's a spiral curriculum in that of BARTS, which may be a little bit confusing, but all that means is that they'll test you with content that you haven't learned, but on the content that you have learned, it won't be more than that of which is on your lecture notes. So some people will say, and this is what I'm going to get onto in a bit, brothers that have been above me have advised me stick to the lecture notes. And did I? Well, at least now you're learning from my lessons or learning from my mistakes. I would definitely just say just stick to the lecture notes, or PJE, but modify it to more so that of the lecture notes, because again, year upon year they do tweak the lecture notes bit by bit. So when you have it open side by side, one thing you're able to do is use the Apple Pencil, Apple Pen, I don't know what it's called, to basically annotate on top of it. But remember, there are some sides that are gonna be worthless. They have very, very low yield. That's a whole different topic. But inshallah ta'ala, one thing I would say is that, remember, your PBLs are very, very important, and your PBLs are very, very high yield. If that makes sense to you, that does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. One other thing that I would also say is that please make use of Anki. Now I know Anki gets overused by many people like Ali Abdal, or maybe not overused, but it's a very hot topic that a lot of people love to speak about. Use Anki. Probably Car Medic uses it, or some of the other bigger medic YouTubers. Wallahi, I've been so off with the gist of medic YouTubers. But I would say make sure that you have implemented Anki with at least 3 months before that of your exams, so you can get accustomed to going over the notes over a period or a longer period of time, because that's where Anki is effective. Not effective for that of short-term 3-4 days you have to cram 100-200 pages in your head. You're going to need to be close to that of a superhuman. But apart from that, it's going to be super difficult. So don't do that, and save yourself the struggle of having to search through which note should I revise, which one should I not revise, and stick to Anki, because brothers use it, galleys use it, and a lot of people can just set you their decks if you ask them nicely. You've got to gas up the brothers, man. Some of you got to go Assalamu alaikum, and you say wa alaikum assalam, Aki, wallahi, you know, I'm loving the hair routine and that, but you gas him up. You'd be like to him, brother, you know, I'm wondering if you know anyone who can help me with an Anki deck. And then if he's feeling like generous, or if the person is, they're like, I want to get to know this brother, they'll say you did that, and then that's it, you just wrap up the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But again, he's your Muslim brother, inshallah ta'ala, you'll get reward, and you'll get reward, inshallah ta'ala. And some people will offer you, without even you having to do all that struggle, some brothers will just give it to you. Wallahi, some brothers are just blessed like that. Allahumma barik lahu. Yeah man, wallahi, just stick to that. Stay away from password, initially for the first 2 years, and then I'm going to jump onto OSCEs, inshallah ta'ala. But I think there's going to be some Quran in between, inshallah.
وما أنزلنا عليك الكتاب إلا لتبين لهم الذي اختلفوا فيه وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون والله أنزل من السماء ماء.
When I say that ayah, subhanallah, if you guys know the meaning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He hasn't revealed the book except that. Oh my god. One second, I want to pick up the call in a bit. But the ayah says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't revealed the verse except, or revealed the book to Muhammad sallallahu that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't revealed the book to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam except so that he clarifies to the people what was revealed to them. And wallahi, it's taking my Hazab Belushi is a vibe, yo. Just listen to the end of this ayah. And if you guys can tell me what surah that's in without the next ayah, well, I'm going to pause it before then comment down in the box below, inshallah ta'ala, without checking out. So now we jump onto OSCEs for that of year 1. Now, to be fair, we never done OSCEs, and if you guys watch my year 1 opening results reaction video, you'll know that we didn't do OSCEs, but we did do clinical skills. And one thing that I would say is, after OSCE stands for objective, structured, clinical examination. Come on, you know what I'm saying? So that being said, one way to practice is this document that the ISOC again do provide, inshallah ta'ala. That is just banging, yo. Allahumma barik to the person who made this sadaqah jariyah. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely banging. So there's this document, and on top of that, use geeky medics because it's techie. Allahumma barik. Tips and tricks behind that of the clinical examinations and what sort to look out for, because you get to see images of certain conditions, whether it be like peripheral edema, I don't know, peripheral neuropathy. I don't think you can see that, but spider. It's on the screen. If you can see this, you'll be able to see it, inshallah ta'ala. And it will show you how to go through it stage by stage, which is definitely what you need to do. But most importantly, after knowing the skills, or quote unquote thinking you know them, I would definitely say go to the prayer place for Jama'ah, which you should be doing by default at Barts, inshallah ta'ala. After Salah, do the same thing. Salaam alaikum, brother. Hope you're doing well. You're shining today. And you'll be like to him, I just need to practice a clinical skill for 5 minutes. Do the whole thing on him, because he knows the drill and he'll be able to correct you. And there's no better place that I believe, with my limited knowledge, using induction, for you to practice it in stages that the Barts examination office wants you to do it, than that of on Barts students who are preparing for the same exam as you, or those that are in the year above you, 2 years above you, that have learnt the procedure as it is. I hope that makes sense, inshallah ta'ala. And I would definitely say that if there's anything, I would say just make sure that you practice every skill at least like 5 times, and 3 times with amazing fluency. Yeah, and one thing to remember as well is that I didn't really clock this, is that OSCEs can also be that of which you have learnt for that of the physiology lectures. So some of the dipstick tests on like urine, or that of blood, or the glucometer measuring, and the what's it called, the injection thingy that you put in your finger. Wallahi, I haven't revised my test on Friday. I'm going to be revising, inshallah ta'ala, but I hope that makes sense. So they can still test you on that, test you on your understanding of asthma, which relates to that of certain respiratory spirometer graph, and so forth. So inshallah ta'ala, I hope that makes sense. And it's not just mere chest examination, peripheral examination, elbow examination, knee examination. It's not just that, you know what I'm saying? Like cranial nerve examination, you have to understand it to a level which is expected of you, because of course first 2 years are pre-clinical years, so you ain't gonna have exposure to that certain degree. but inshallah ta'ala it goes well. Post says it becomes a relevance, inshallah ta'ala. And something that may also benefit you is looking at examples that are on the Google Drive that some people may spread around on examples of a grade A poster. So you can sort of replicate your poster to that certain degree, to that certain level, to that certain detail, and inshallah ta'ala you might be able to bag a similar grade, a grade A, a grade B, a grade C, which will count towards the paper breakdown. So paper A may include poster, attendance, so on and so forth, logbook, for that of your clinical skills. Then for paper B, it's going to be the exam right at the end of the year, which is going to entail your lectures and your PBLs, so on and so forth. Lecture or paper 3 is going to be spotter, which I'm going to mention in a bit. For your spotter exam, so where you associate names, certain pictures, anatomy, so on and so forth. Paper D, is that your OSCE? I believe it's your OSCE. And you have to pass every component of this, rated out of 50% to get into the next year. If you don't, it's going to be a hassle. You're going to have to go through remediation, resit in the exams, and if that doesn't work, they may kick you out, or you may have to redo the year. And redoing the year does mean that you have to pay an extra 9k, which certain brothers who are trying to survive in uni are not going to be able to do so. Khair, inshallah ta'ala. I hope that made sense. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you as of such. Enjoy the rest of the vlog if there's still some vlog left. If not, if I've already done it, then inshallah ta'ala, may Allah bless you abundantly and give you 4 wives, because in Bart you ain't getting you 4 wives, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, deal. But khair, man. Assalamu alaikum.